that can see today and even beyond.
That is very important.
It can only be God. If you hear their stories, you will say, even with my own challenges, I still want to thank God.
Yep, I still want to thank God. All right. This is the newspaper review. Do well to be part of the conversation here this morning by joining us in the conversation. Send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070-317-56537. And we're going to start off with the Punch newspaper this morning. And it says here, President Buhari orders sanctions for inbound passengers evading COVID-19 tests. And also, police shot my 17-year-old son from behind. Federal Road Safety Corps official. And we negotiated Kankara schoolboys release through ex-bandit, Governor Bello Matawalle. And Department of State Services warns of plot to bomb churches and mosques and others. And Senate plans law for hunters to tackle bandits and kidnapping. And President Buhari under fire says only God can police Nigeria and Niger borders. These are the headlines of the Punch newspaper this morning. The These Day has the headlines. It says here, COVID-19 brace up Nigeria in perilous times, says President Buhari. And also immigration upgrade Festax passport office for processing enhanced e-passport. And also ASU to commence outcome of negotiation to announce outcome of negotiations today. The These Day newspaper still has it. Federal government to close the Third Mainland Bridge and the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway for repairs. We're going to be giving you all of those details this morning on the dailies. All right. And also, The Guardian has the headlines. Doubt as President Buhari hints revenue job creation on gas sector. Nigeria keeps mum about Financial Times failed state verdict. Also, federal government may spend 599 billion naira to vaccine 149.9 million Nigerians by 2022. Nigerian governors a forum to work with federal government security agencies to end banditry. Also, we are getting closer to self-sufficiency in liquefied petroleum gas production. President Buhari. The Nation newspaper has the headlines. It says federal government by the expressway. Varsity teachers get 2 months salary arrears. And why we soft pedal on travel ban. It's coming in from the federal government. And also Lagos Ibadan speed train passengers grow to 187. And Governor Kayode Fayemi, government working on plans to make youth shun crime. The pen pushing has the headline 17 people die in accident along the Lokoja Abuja highway. And Oyo State Police Command confirms adoption of quarry workers in Ibadan. Ogun State government acquires tricycle ambulance to address maternal infant mortality issues. And second wave of coronavirus, Nigerian government order closure of nightclubs. These are the headlines on the dailies on the newspaper review this morning. Just when we felt like everything was returning back to normal, there is a news of a new strain of this particular coronavirus. And, I don't even know what 2021 is going to look like. I'm just trying to just be optimistic as much as possible because all of this is just crippling a lot of plans. And, I even had plans to travel, but I'm like, no, man. No, I think it's I think it's better. I hold all those travel plans, but life has to still go on. Then you have to also look at what is the risk. I still have a few friends who traveled out. I was like, are you supposed to travel out at this time?
Well, you see, it actually depends on the reason for traveling. If it's just for frivolities, you will expect a sane person to say, you know what, let me hold on. But if it has to do with something that you just can't, and if you have the opportunity, you go. I remember what one of the founders of YouVersion, for those who use that app on their mobile devices, it was at a was at a conference or a seminar, and he said there are 2 things that he knows. Number one, he does not know the future, just like what you have said.
Yeah.
I also do not know the future. But the second one that he's very, very, very sure of, with God on his side, and his inner circle, his team members, his advisors, his mentors, those that, they bond together, with them on his side and with God, they can always chart a way forward.
That is very, very important, to look forward and also be optimistic about what is going to happen. But then let's start off with COVID-19. Federal government on Tuesday clarified that it would not declare a fresh lockdown in the country following confirmation second wave of the COVID-19. The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, gave this clarification when he featured on the radio on Nigerian program Politics Nationwide, monitored by the news agency of Nigeria in Abuja. The minister said the directive and position of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 at its briefing on Monday did not translate to partial or total lockdown, as reported in some section of the media. He allayed the fears of Nigerians and some listeners that called in during the program that the lockdown might have negative effect on the already stressed economy. Mohammed explained that the federal government had done was to reduce the chances of mass gathering by directing its workers from level 12 below to work from home. He said the government also reiterated already existing ban on nightclubs and other COVID-19 protocols. The federal government had not declared any fresh lockdown. What we have done is that we have simply reiterated the old protocols and asked federal workers on level 12 and below to stay at home, and they will receive their salaries. This is pretty good for government workers at this time. But, what is the plan with private sector? Private sectors are still, a friend yesterday received annual bonus, and it was less than 10% of of his salary. And I was like, your annual bonus for working for a whole year was less than 10% of your salary. And I'm like, wow. So you worked. So I'm like, wow, that is amazing. That is amazing to see the level of hypocrisy in most private sectors.
Interesting.
All right. So please, there is no fresh lockdown. Let's just keep the work going up as much as possible, and let's keep working hard. But let's talk about the Kankara boys. There are two different conflicting headlines. One is the governor of Katsina, Bello Matawali of Zamfara State, Bello Matawali of Zamfara State, on Tuesday gave a valid account of the role he played in negotiation for the freedom of 344 students of the government boys science secondary school in Kankara, Katsina State. He also reacted to claims made by the acting National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, Yekini Nabena, that he was sponsoring bandits in the Northwest. The governor said he would not take legal action against him for alleged comments against him and his government following the intervention of highly respected organizations and individuals. Now, speaking to journalists in Abuja, the governor said the Kankara boys were released in Zamfara State before they were moved to Katsina State, where they were received by the government officials. Matawale said repentant bandits were contacted, who in turn played a major role in negotiating and eventually released the boys. But there's a headline here on another daily, which is the This Day newspaper speaks about presidency, how we forced bandits to free adopted Katsina pupils. The presidency yesterday shed more light on how the Katsina and Zamfara government, in collaboration with the federal government, were able to secure the release of 344 pupils of government science secondary school in Kankara a week after their adoption. Presidential spokesman Malam Garba Shehu said on a breakfast television program that the repentant bandit assisted in securing release of the pupils. He also dismissed claims that the federal government managed the adoption of pupils to create an impression that the Buhari administration was up to the task in protecting the lives and properties of Nigerians. In fact, yesterday there was a report I was reading about the group of women who were celebrating Mr. President in Abuja, for the release of these schoolboys. And then I wonder what is the essence of the celebration of this particular issue. Well, this is the current situation that we have found ourselves. There's also the governor lament worsening security challenge. And when I first opened this headline, I just read the headline. I was like, I'm tired of hearing governors are lamenting, governors are tired, governors are this, and governors of the 36th state under the auspice of the Nigerian Governors Forum yesterday expressed worries over the deteriorating security challenges bedeviling the country, particularly in the Northwest. To stem the tide, they have, however, committed themselves to upping the ante in the war against bandits, kidnappers, and other criminals. Now, the NGF chairman and Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, yesterday told journalists in Katsina that they were concerned that killings, kidnapping, and other activities have become a daily occurrence in the country. These are the same things we hear every time. It's almost like there is a recycling of this particular report. And shout out to journalists and reporters who are writing these stories over and over again. Most likely just putting a little twist to using the choice of words.
Rhetorics.
Just putting a twist to the choice of words being used, and then but it's still the same message every single time with little or no improvement in the security architecture of the country.
Okay. I think you talked about 3 or 4 things now. Let's take it one after the other now. Daniel, honestly, it can only be God that will help us in the hands of the people that are ruling us. Let's start with the issue of the Kankara boys. We've had several versions. There was a time we were hearing of Mieti, that they were the ones that helped out. The military people also came, Now we are hearing the governor of Zamfara. Now the presidency is saying, we keep hearing all kinds of things. We don't even know the truth. And honestly, a kingdom or a government will only thrive under truth and justice. Obviously, their account of trust, it has been depleted. We cannot trust them anymore. I'm sorry to say, but that is the truth. Because one you will hear this today, somebody else will come and counter it. You'll hear this tomorrow, somebody else will come and counter it. So what exactly is the truth? But bottom line, thank God the boys were released. Either he was stage managed or he was not stage managed. At least our boys have been released. But the issue that we Nigerians should begin to talk about and mount pressure on the fact that you have deceived us. Like I keep saying, the truth about everything that is happening, I don't believe that the presidency does not know about it. Now, let us even take the account of the governor of Zamfara. Let us analyze it. Yes. We thank him for saying he used ex-bandits. The first question I want to ask is that, okay, you used ex-bandit, you contacted the ex-bandits, they were the ones that help you, to get the release of the boys in Zamfara State before they were moved to Katsina. And then, of course, you said they helped with the negotiation. Fine. Another quarters is saying there was no money, but there was negotiation. What they negotiated, we do not know. So maybe it's an issue of, fine, give us our rights, or maybe it's food, maybe it's security, or what I don't know. Whatever
there was an article I was reading which linked the opening of the borders to the release of the boys.
We don't know. You understand? We don't know. We can only permutate.
Yes.
And then begin to observe. So later on we will not get to know. It will be clearer for those who are observing. That okay. Is this the negotiation? If money did not trade, something must have gone in.
Negotiations involves the transaction.
Exactly. Yes. Transaction. It's a win-win thing. Okay, you want your boys, okay, do this for us. You understand? But they have not told us that. They have even left us clueless. You understand? Which is not right. But now the question is, you contacted them to assist in the rescuing of the boys. Now I am wondering, in a safe community where you want to tackle security at this alarming rate that is facing us like wildfire, you release you should I say converted or whatever with these bandits. You made them to say, okay, you know what, you are going to be good people now and you're going to support us. What did you tell them at that time? Are they not the same person you're supposed to use to know where these people are? Like I said, I don't even believe they don't know. You understand? I think it's just a trade that is going on. They are just using us to trade. Because if somebody says, look, ex-bandits, they know where they are. The Yorubas will say, "Olelo myself later." It's a thief that will know, the trails and the route of how a thief will go.
Okay.
Fine. So even if truly these ex-bandits are repentant ones, and they're on our side, when I say we're on our side, that they want to tackle insecurity, they will actually tell you where they are. It has been exposed now. These ex-bandits, they know where they are. Maybe they were the ones that went to rescue. They said they surrounded the place. So they know where they are. So the issue is, if they know where they are, for goodness sake, why can't you just attack them and pull this institution of Boko Haram, of terrorists, down once and for all?
Let's link this conversation with this headline. It's on the Punch newspaper, and I think some other dailies have it. Is with regards to the president under fire, saying only God can police Nigeria and the borders. Now, the oppositing party and a group of also social cultural groups, have on Tuesday took a swipe on President Buhari over his comment on that only God can effectively supervise Nigeria's borders with Niger Republic. Now, in a separate interviews, they said the president's statement was only an indication that he had failed, but also that he had been overwhelmed by insecurity and other problems in the country. Buhari, according to a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, on Tuesday said that only God can effectively supervise Nigeria's borders with the Republic of Niger. The president spoke while receiving in audience a former vice president who heads ECOWAS election mission to the Republic of Niger. The president spoke amid concern about insecurity and influx of bandits into the country from Niger Republic and other neighboring countries. Recall that 2 weeks ago, bandits kidnapped schoolboys in Kankara, Katsina State. But on Tuesday, Buhari explained why Nigeria's borders with Niger was difficult to man. The statement by Additional titled President Buhari pledged to support for Paul in a Republic of Niger, describing outgoing president as very decent man. Buhari said, "I come from Daura, few kilometers from the Republic of Niger, so I should know a bit about that country." The president was quite decent and very regularly in touch. He's sticking to the maximum terms prescribed by the constitution of his country. Also, we share more than 1,400 kilometers of borders with that country, which can only be effectively supervised by God. Now, I don't mind to sound non-religious right now, but shouldn't we do everything humanly possible before we involve God?
You see, when I read that post, what came to my mind is, God is just a good God. The things you're supposed to do, you will hang it on God. Like a dear sister will always say, angels will not come to build our country. And if you look at nations that are doing so well, yes, there is God underneath it, foiling it. Is the life, is the spirit. You understand? Because let's be practical. We cannot do anything if God does not help us. But you see, the issue is that you cannot abandon your responsibility to God. It's like you're saying, that you want to eat, and the food is there. I mean, the raw ingredients that you want to cook is there. It's in the kitchen. And you are staying in the sitting room and you are saying, God, I want to eat. Prepare me food. God will not do that for you. You have to go to the kitchen and prepare these things. But while you are preparing, then you cannot begin to say, God, I rely on your strength. So where am I going? To me, it looks as if two things are happening, and I'm not too sure. One, they understand the game they are playing, and they are just, because they know the Nigerians are religious people. So let us now package it and say it can only be God. That's one. Two, maybe they are overwhelmed and they don't even have an idea of what they are saying. I mean, people have been saying that they are clueless and all that. Maybe, I do not know, but it's one of these two. So, but the issue is, even if you have these two issues, people have clamored several times for you to rejig.
Okay.
It's something that you should say, okay, this time around, I want to rejig the architecture, the security architecture, trusting God that I will pick the right one. Maybe if you hear that, it makes sense. But for us to hear to say that it can only be God, when you know that, I mean, there are things that you can do. So it's like, hey, Nigerians, we are religious, but this is not an issue of being religious now. It's an issue of let's face the facts. Let's face the fact. Whatever game they are playing, this should stop. But I tell you something, Daniel. Over time, the truth, we will get to know the truth.
Yeah.
We will get to know the truth, because now it's like, yes, we on the other side, that we are not on their own side. We will continue to pray. And what is our prayer? Just like the Bible says, that we should pray for our leaders. For what? For peace and quietness.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, let God decode it. If he's going to come and fight, and I will always say that if you ask God to intervene, God doesn't take sides. It takes over. So anything can happen. But your best bet is be on the side of God and do what is right.
Okay.
Have they done what is right? I do not think they have done that. Because this issue of insecurity that we have been talking about over and over and over, nothing has been done. The police, the security people will complain that they lack equipment. You have not even done that for them. You understand? Okay, we are saying that over time, rejig the security architecture. Let new hands come in. The Senate have said it. A lot of people have said it. You understand? Even ex-security personnel also have said it over and over. So why have you not done it? You have not even come out to even give a good reason. They might have done so well before, but now their capacity, it don't pass their level. That's the truth. It's true. So at such times, if you think about it as a business entity, truly it's a business, because you have to weigh your resources with your income and all that and make profit. Though Nigeria profit, we had always been making losses. The context of that. But where am I going is this: if over time the head of an institution has been declaring losses, you will be a fool to leave that person there. The first thing you will do is remove the head, because obviously everything falls and rises on the leadership. So that means the people there for now, it don't pass their level. So let them step down. You understand? And then bring fresh hands. There will be fresh collaborations. And mind you, like I say, maybe they know some things that we do not know.
Of course.
And if they have to step down, wala go. You understand? That quite a lot, they'll open the can of worms. And if that is the situation, then Mr. President has not done well for us. We elected you there to be the president of Nigeria, secure us and give us welfare. So if that is the game that is being played, then Mr. Integrity is no longer Mr. Integrity.
All right, 26 minutes past 8. This is still the newspaper review. Do well to be part of this conversation on 07031756537. 07031756537 is the number to send us a text or a WhatsApp message to be part of the conversation here this morning. The Department of State Services has raised the alarm over the plot to bomb some places during the Utah. And in a statement yesterday, the agency asked Nigerians to be on alert, and it is taking steps to prevent attack nationwide. The DSS spokesman, Peter Afuanya, however, advised that those planning to disrupt public peace are to desist from such. The Department of State Services wishes to inform the public about plans by some criminal elements to carry out violent attack on public places, including key and vulnerable points during the Utah season. The planned drastic act are to be executed through the use of explosives, suicide bombing, and other dangerous weapons. The objective is to create a general sense of fear among the people, also subsequently undermine the government. Against this backdrop, citizens are called upon to be extra vigilant and report strange movement and indeed all suspicions around them to security and law enforcement agencies. And on the part of the agency, the service is collaborating with other sister agencies to ensure that adequate measures are put in place for protection of lives and property. This was the statement. Also, there has been provision of emergency number. So to further, the emergency number is 0813 2222. So 4 in 2 in 4 places, 105. So 0813 222 2105 and 090 3000 2189. These are the numbers for urgent contact. It is also using the opportunity to avail its interactive website, which is www.dss.gov.ng for public communication support. Everyone is encouraged to take advantage of this platform and similar ones provided by relate of required information, he stated. One of the major bane of concern that I've always had with this administration is the level of information gathering and in information sharing. This is a major concern. Ever since I read up on a report on that is one of the reasons why we are still battling with this particular issue of Boko Haram and insurgency is the protection for individuals with information and how they are being protected, how this information are being dispersed, the level of intelligence gathering by our security men. Now, all we have on the dailies, I know that matters of security are not two public concerns in certain ways. So stuff like this, if they have even names, they would most likely not publish them. But I'm concerned about how far have we done with regards to the intelligence gathering by security agents in dealing with issues. The Kankara schoolboys attack, all other issues that have happened. We still had attack yesterday. I think it was in Kaduna State, 4 killed, about 7 adopted. These killings are happening. There is a report of somebody dying every single day. And there's a report of somebody dying every single day. And I'm asking myself, what are we doing to improve on the intelligence gathering by security agencies? These things cannot happen out of the blues.
There are many dimensions to this thing. Could it be that they do not have enough resources? When I say resources, it's not just equipment, also human personnel. Because the truth about it is that for you to have intelligence gathering at all quarters, there will be some people that will that will be there for you to give information, aside from all your gadgets and equipment and embracing technology in all its facets. It could be that, I do not know, but they are the ones that will press for what they want if they really want to do so well. Because in terms of intelligence gathering, we know that if you look at their scorecard, they have scored low. That's the truth. They have scored low. Nigerians are very intelligent people. That's what I know. I'm bold to declare that. But you see, the issue is that if we do not have good resources, good let me use resources, both human and non-human. There is little you can actually do. But that is not to praise them. That's not to praise them.
Okay.
While you were reading that, there is this Yoruba song that just came to my mind. I would sing it, but I will say it, Yoruba. When I want to niwalara, Baba. So what am I saying is that, it's a prayer that Yoruba people will sing, that the people that are inflicting pain on us, God inflict pain on them, because it has gotten to that. I believe that there are some people that will just pick an information and stage it, act the play. I am linking it to the fact that over time we've had press release or statements, from the quarters of the nation to say, after all, let us thank God that we are no longer hearing bombing everywhere and there. That is as if it's a good thing to have terrorist attack and bandit attack, So now this is now coming. I'm linking it up that, is it that somebody is acting out a script? You understand? But it's okay. We will continue to pray. We know how to pray, and God will intervene. But at the same time, I have this to say. Let us even thank them that they have come out to say something, so that it is not that we just had that there was a bomb.
But shouldn't this even put a ban on, at least with such intelligence report? Shouldn't we, this Yuletide season, churches will want to gather? Shouldn't that be the case of compulsorily ensuring that churches have bomb designators, personnel?
Yes, that is where I'm going now. That, okay, you have come up with this. So what are you telling us? Apart from you giving us these long numbers, I have an issue with these long numbers. In this day and age, we should have short codes. How many people are going to remember this? You understand? How many people are going to remember this? Even if you have it saved on your phone, You know, when there's an attack or when there's an emergency or something, you might not even remember this to even press off the three, whatever, wherever you are. You understand?
Why is this difficult for us to
It is
achieve?
not difficult. Daniel, somebody's not thinking. That's the truth. Somebody's sleeping on their job. Why would you have an 11 digit in this day and age? Even in the days of the telephone dialogue,
Yes.
you understand, for emergency, I can't remember it again. You know, you just dial 3. That was years ago. No, not to talk of now that, I mean, short codes, it's
Everywhere.
Oh my God.
Everywhere.
But that's one. And then, of course, you talked about the website. We do not know if this website is working. We do not know. You understand? But we'll get there. I know you'll talk about the name where their site has crashed. But to the issue of the day, by now, they should begin to give statements of what to do, like you mentioned. Churches that are going to gather, apart from the COVID issue, COVID regulation, since they have a little bit of intelligence, they know these hotspots. I want to believe that they should by now have working to the fact that they do not carry these things. So if they have to intercept them before they carry it out, this is what I expect. But even if they do not even do that, how can we safeguard ourselves?
Okay.
So yes, I know they've said watch out for strange movements and all that. It cannot just be strange movement alone. You understand? Tell us, what are we supposed to see? You understand? And then for the churches and for the mosque, or mass gathering, where you have mass gathering, of course, begin to enlighten them. Probably have a security stakeholders meeting or something, and begin to enlighten them. Don't just give us a statement, but go beyond that and have an action. Call the people. Have a stakeholders meeting and say, look, this and this and this and this and this are what you need to know. And then, of course, in terms of how you can monitor, you can regulate. If you are going in and out, tell them that okay, they should not wear babariga or something to cover. You understand? Let them not carry bags. Things like that is what we want to begin to hear. Apart from this statement, so let them act. Intelligently on us.
24 minutes to 9 this morning. This is the newspaper review. Do well to be part of this conversation. Make your contributions and comment on 07031756537 to be part of this conversation. Now, a quick announcement. The Federal Comptroller for Works Lagos, Mr. Olakayode Pukbola, on Tuesday announced the 72 hours total closure of the third mainland bridge to cast concrete on the extension joint. Now, Kukwala told the News Agency of Nigeria in Lagos that the shutdown will take effect from midnight on Saturday to midnight on Tuesday. Now, he added that the construction work had reached the stage for casting concrete on additional 3 extension joints. There is going to be total closure of the third mainland bridge in order to allow for the casting of the 3 number extension joints on the Island Bond Lane. The effective date for the closure is 12 midnight, 25th of December. So people will be allowed to use the third mainland bridge to celebrate Christmas. By the end of Christmas is winding down, which is 12 midnight. We are going to close it so that we will be able to cast the concrete on Saturday, the 26th and 27th. We cast again, and we need about 72 hours for the concrete to set. Therefore, the opening will be on the 28th midnight. That is 72 hours closure. So this is to prevent vibration on the bridge. If we allow vehicles to be moving on one lane, there is going to be vibration on the concrete would not set properly. The controller said that all alternative routes were in good condition, and traffic regulatory agencies have been deployed to effectively divert and manage traffic to avert gridlock. He appealed to road users to cooperate with traffic regulatory agency. They also announced that 48 hours partial closure of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway from the 28th of December to the 29th of December to complete some work on the flyover bridge on the project. The contractor, that's Julius Badger, wants to install some cross beam at kilometer 16. That's around MFM. He said he explained that the pillars were already standing on both sides of the road, and the contractors was to lay the cross beam to allow the cross beam for top across the road. The area will be shut down, and there would be closure within this section from 12 p.m. on 28th of December, and will be opened to traffic by 5 a.m. the following day. So 200 meters to get to this particular location, we have diversion, and another diversion 200 meters away from that place. So one lane will be open to traffic. It is one lane that is we're going to be closing to traffic, and one at a time. So just please, if you do not have any business being on the road, just be at home.
No, yeah, that's
giving
true.
you all of these explanations to let you know which side is open, which side is closed,
and which is a very good one.
But if you don't have any reasons to be on the road on these days,
you should just stay.
Just relax.
That's the truth.
Yes.
And also, it's coming with the eve of the COVID-19 resurgence.
So
they're just telling you, if you don't have any important okay, should I use the word important?
Have stuff to do,
if you don't have to go out, I mean, at that period you just stay. But fine, if you have to, then you use the alternate roads, and then of course you have to bear the consequences, because there's going to be a little bit of challenges there, in terms of hold up and all that. But really, if I were you, I would just sit down in my house for that period, But like you said, there are some that will probably just have to go. I mean, those that are on emergency and things like that, they have to
some
go
people
out,
still have to go out.
So that's the truth.
Well, let's take some messages right now. We have tons of messages. 07031756537. 20 minutes to 9. The newspaper review. Buki Femi Ajala with me here. Daniel Adaja on the newspaper review. Chris Magboro says, my dear one in the studio, look at the statement of the president and the governor of Zamfara over the students kidnapped. Nigeria haven't had one chance in this government. They have no idea of governance, and shame to them. They are just sitting down there and sharing our money. WhatsApp messages. We receive more WhatsApp messages than text messages. All right. Additional Wasiu says, on the same issue, I don't understand the minister Pantimi, who is doing this now, like is living in another planet. What you get when you put someone who is not merit in a position in that place. All right. Additional Wasiu. Mr. Wale in Barua Paja says, I learned vaccine will cost $2 each. Let the PTF give me the $2 and let me go and see Abuki to find out the current exchange rate. I hope your station is giving Christmas palliative. Okay. Mr. Wale in Peace Estate Barua. Apparently, there was a gas explosion around that Barua area. Yeah. I apparently just saw I went home over the weekend last week and I saw the view. I didn't even know it was that residential area that it happened. It was my brother that was showing me. I was like, wow, it was really God that didn't allow that thing go worse than it was. All right, we have more messages here. AK Isaac from Alausa Ikeja says, presidency calling God to protect our borders is for us quite discouraging. It shows how weak we are as a nation. I'm not saying God intervention is not needed, but it is baseless without strategic action. As a nation, we are to brace up in order to tackle insecurity completely. All lives matter, and we have no genuine point losing one person to terrorists. AK Isaac in Alausa Ikeja. Elder Johnson in the Mude says, the president said only God can police the nation and the borders. What a way of telling Nigerians that his administration has failed in securing Nigerians today. There is kidnapping, bandits, Fulani killing headsmen everywhere, and no one has been arrested because it is only God that can police Nigeria. And yet, he still refused to resign. All right, Johnson in the Mude. It says, talking about the Kankara boys' negotiations with the bandits that kidnapped the boys isn't as easy as many of you think. If the military go all out and attack them where they are, there will always be a reprisal attack, not just on the military, but on innocent students. Bandits don't stay in a single place. They are spread out, and you can't attack all of them at a go. If a single unit of these bandits were attacked, expect those bandits to give a reprisal attack, and they will most likely kill students instead of kidnapping them, which will be worse. US also do negotiate with terrorists when they are out of options, and you dare not break your negotiations with them, else it will be worse. We just have to manage the situation we find ourselves at the moment, security-wise, and hope with time this bandit drop their arms. The bandits are at the upper hand now. They are That's the fact. Okay, the kidnap of those boys gave those bandits an upper hand over our gallant troops. Ezekiel from Ikeja. All right. Odia Mark says we are frustrated. Government cries out. I wonder how Uncle Trump would feel when he reads this piece of news. Some doubting Thomas in Nigeria refused to believe the federal government that they didn't pay ransom. I don't like it though. APC government is skilled in negotiating and mentally to us. All right. The government. Okay, this is coming from Odia Mark in Ikeja. Okay, let's take this one more message here. It says, please, when next you come to Barawa, Hala, your station should branch here. Okay, no wahala. And okay, you should come up with a Barawa branch. All right, Mr. Wale. It's so good. All right. It says, don't blame Buhari for the chaos that we are facing today. Blame those that imposed him on us all. This is Chooks from Ikeja. All right. I think I saw another message. I opened it by chance and I haven't read it. All right, Rosenje Mutiu. This time last week, Rosenje Mutiu was preparing for his Nikai. So he got married last week and he didn't invite us, but we are forgiving him because we know he invite us for the rest of the celebration ahead. All right, God would only secure people who are working on securing themselves. He is not a magician. The common saying is work and pray and not play and pray. The government needs to work hard on the borders before handing over to God. I hope the ASU resumption is not the usual fake news. Somebody should please check before ASU come and tell us another thing. All right, this is Rosenje Mutiu in Alakbere. All right, let's keep those messages coming in. 070-317-565-37 to be part of this conversation here on the radio. Now we're going to...
Let me chip in something.
Yes.
Let me chip in something concerning one of the reports where the text message came in that in terms of negotiation, that it's not what we are thinking. I quite agree with the person that negotiation is a way of life. In fact, even we individuals, if you look at your life, every day you negotiate, so your negotiation skills has to be up. But when you now look at the total facts of all this Boko Haram, bandit operation and things like that, there are times, yes, you need to negotiate to save Nigerians, but at times you need to act. What we are saying is that enough of this negotiation. There are times that they don't have anybody in their kitty that you can strike. You understand? We talk about this American person, right? Why didn't they negotiate? It's just one life. But they went there and they destroy. So what we are saying is that use all the skills and competencies you have. But when you don't have the skills and competencies, go for the person who has skills and competencies. That's what we are saying. Rejig the security architecture. Bring people with fresh ideas, fresh innovations. I mean, people that will say, look, enough is enough. These people that are there, I mean, for them, they are comfortable. They are comfortable because Mr. President says they are good. So they cannot even bring out their best. So what we are saying is that rejig it, bring that. I know Nigerians are intelligent people. You understand? I know quite a lot of Nigerians that are outside of our shores and they're doing serious stuff in terms of the security apparatus of the countries that they are. So we are saying that let the presidency look at it and give us a new security architecture. You'll be amazed. They will do it.
All right, 13 minutes to 9 this morning. This is the newspaper review. Buki Femi Ajala with me this morning on the radio. Do well to send us your text or a WhatsApp message to be part of this conversation as we're taking you through the dailies on the radio. Let's talk about the crashed website. It's been crashed for over 48 hours. Large crowd trolling the web portal of the National Identity Management Commission for the process of obtaining their national identity number led to the crash of the portal on Monday. Many people who wanted to print their enrollment form, which is a major requirement for registering for the national identity number, were unable to do so and got stranded. Check shows that the www.nimc.gov.ng as well as 3.nimc.gov.nd displayed error message. I was checking it on my own too. I was monitoring myself. The commission reopened its enrollment centers on Tuesday for NIN registration after they were shut the previous day. It was obvious that only applicants with completed application forms were allowed into the premises of the commission in Lagos after they had received tally numbers earlier in the day. NIMC officials encourage those that have not attended at 2 p.m. to return the next day as early as 6 a.m. to be captured. This is terrible. And also, the Lagos Center was one of those that were shut on Monday due to the large crowd that gathered and the lack of social distancing. Also, in Abuja, residents of the Federal Capital Territory besieged the NIMC registration center in their respective bid to obtain the NIN. This was despite the extension of deadline for the linkage of SIM cards to NIN. The federal government had declared December 15, 2020, that after December 30th, all SIMs that were not registered with all valid NIMs on the network of telecommunications company would be blocked. But on Monday, an extension of that extended to December 30th, the deadline widened, and the gap was moved to January 19th. And also for those who have, extension for subscribers without NIM to February 9. Why this fire brigade approach? I already saw this coming. I knew the website was going to crash. First and foremost, I saw that coming from the very beginning, because one of the things the government has failed to do over time is to build solid websites in which can take that amount of traffic, because this is what crashes a website is the traffic that is driven to that page. Everybody's going there to demand for the same thing at the same time, and you can't pull that through. And then NCC didn't put all this into perspective from the very beginning, and once, voila.
Yeah, that is why we keep saying that competency and skills in whichever office is critical. You just don't put somebody in an office because you want to pay back, you want to say thank you. Get on still fit to do that job. At the point, I would have expected that at the point of saying, okay, this is the way forward, they should have asked all stakeholders, to come on board. Let's have a meeting. And then with project management skills, and mindset to say, okay, does everybody understand what we want to do? Do you have all the resources? Do you have the equipment? Is the environment okay? You understand? So everybody will now begin to say, oh no, my site cannot take more than this traffic if you have the surge, because now we are looking at about close to over maybe 120 million. I mean, if you look at maybe 46 people have done their NIM, and we are looking at a population of 200 million. So do we have this kind of traffic that will go, maybe even half of it? You look at all these things and you say, okay, now I understand the challenges. Okay, now let's begin to now take it step by step and now come up with a framework which is realistic. Then the telcos will say, okay, you know what we can do is this, we can have short code. One of the telcos have not even come up with their own short code. All the other ones have come up with it. So you should have done all this, before you even come out to announce. Okay, fine. Now you have announced, you've made a mistake. That's the truth. The issue of extending to January, I don't see that happening. Everybody has been complaining. You are talking about COVID-19 resurgence.
Yes.
Now these people are gathering. So it's like you are in another island on your own. Government is saying that they are going to restrict movement for mass gathering. Right, they're going to close the bars. The schools have been shut down. Grade level 12 or 13 from there downwards are no longer to come to work. Quite a lot of things are happening, and at the same time, we are now putting pressure. Look at the gathering. Look at the gathering at that, and even for the owners, for the stakeholders in NIM, it is now they should say sorry.
Yes,
we can't continue like this. You can't continue like this. Come out with your competence to say, no, we cannot. Put your feet down to say, no, we cannot. Okay, now it has crashed. Everybody knows that your site has crashed. Is that good in this day and age? A site is crashing. You understand? So I think they should look at it all over again, sit down with all the stakeholders again, marshal all the challenges,
Yes.
and come up with a timeline, to sort out this and come back. The truth about it is that we have been living. I know why they are coming about this, about security issues. They want to know who is using your SIMs and all that and all that. But the truth about it is that we need to value ourselves. What is happening now is that we do not value ourselves. Because if you value ourselves, you know the issues, and then you are telling people. I was watching the news. There was a particular lady that said she has been there 3 times. She will wake up from her house at 5 o'clock. I know somebody will tell me that after all, this thing has been on for 3 years. But the truth about it is that even if it's 3 years, we know the way the system is.
The point
you
about
waste your time there.
The way it is, you put something up for the last 3 years. NIMC should come out and publicly declare how many advertisements they have pulled through effectively in the last 3 years with regards to raising awareness on how compulsory this thing is. We only hear of this thing now. It became very popular last year because JAMB made it compulsory that if you do not have it, you cannot register for JAMB. So we had a troop of children going to these centers to register. But consistently over time, what adverts were? If you cannot have made adverts consistently for the last 3 years and not have registered,
I won't even
over
say
half of
adverts.
us.
I will probably say awareness
campaigns,
and then putting the structures in place. You understand? What stops them from making it like, okay, the school children, take the kids to the schools. Take the kids to the hospitals. I know quite a lot of religious centers did it. I did mine in church, thank God for that. And I know quite a lot of religious centers did that as well, in strategic places, in the malls, in the market, put it there.
Put it where it's accessible.
Exactly, that people are seeing it, make use of the banks, make use of the telcos, just put it everywhere in addition to technology as well. You can start it and then give them a time to say, okay, come for capturing. You understand? And then that one, you can even face it. It's technology.
There's just so much that could have been done right that they didn't do right. But anyway, let's just take a few messages and we'll call the conversation to a wrap this morning. It says in Nigeria, negotiations don't happen without money changing hands in the country. That no money involved is total trash. I can assure you that some unscrupulous element would have made billions of naira out of this staged managed adoption. Adoption my foot, but they should remember God is watching and everyone involved in this scam adoption that they would not go unpunished. Engineer Soji Badejo in Ikpaja. It says, when you have the children that you can't provide for, what will they do? Of course, they fall for anyone who is ready and willing to provide for them. That's exactly what is going on in the northern part of the country, and it's affecting us all. Chooks sending us that message. Let's take one text message and that will be a wrap. P. Dasa in Auguste says, God has everything for us. He created us and made everything for our survival available to us. What else do we want God to do for us? We want him to come down and till the ground for us. PMB's comment is not good. All right, P. Dasa in Ogun State. This is a wrap this morning on the newspaper review. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is 24th of December, 2020. So that's the eve to Christmas. All right, do well to prepare your Christmas gift. If you have to do exchange of gift in your family or among your friends, just prepare your heart and mind to it, and also prepare for the closure of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on 28th. The closure of the Third Mainland Bridge on 25th. So it's like one is ending, another one kicks off almost immediately. So let's just do well to stay home and stay safe. Thank you so much, Bukifemi Ajala, for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let's have a beautiful day. At 9 is the news at 9, and after the news at 9, it's the